Hey everybody, I'm glad you're here for STEM today. I have us planned a really cool activity called a marble run. So, what I am challenging you to do is use recycled materials and make your own marble maze or marble run. This one is mine. So really you don't have to use anything more than cardboard or paper towel rolls, toilet paper rolls, pipe cleaners. I used a cereal box. We'll get into that towards the end. First, I'd like to get into some attachment techniques with cardboard, since that's probably what you're going to primarily use, seeing as this is like recycled material. Or you may use other like papery products to try and attach things together to make it work. So, what I have over here is a display of all the different kind of techniques that I know. And this has to play in our engineering part of STEM. We have what I like to use, the flange technique. So as you can see here, I took a toilet paper roll and I cut it and I fringed it the entire way around, and then it now sits flat. So you can either tape these down or glue these down, and you have cylinder, but now it also is attached securely to whatever you're using, which really helps because whenever you're gluing something down or taping something down, the more surface area you have to use, the more sturdy it is. Another one I like to use a whole lot is this one over here. This is called an L brace. So this is two pieces of cardboard put together. The L brace is obviously because you go down and then out, just like the letter L. So you tape the inside of the two pieces. You use half of the tape on this side and half on this side. I like to double reinforce it and do it on the back as well, because then you have even more sturdy L brace. If you want to make it even more sturdy of an L brace, you can use a gusset technique. That is this. So that is where you have your two pieces of material and then you do supports in there. These are triangle supports. They look like this. So the more you have, the more sturdy it is. So if you need to put something very heavy on there, it would work better than, say, just tape, because as you can see, I can still move this a little bit and it's not as weight bearing, load bearing, I think they call that. Where this, it's sturdy. I'm pushing on it. You probably can't tell because, again, it's a video. But what you do is you glue two sides. So as you can see here, I have marked glue, glue, no glue. So you would glue the underneath here, glue here, and then the no glue part you hold and you insert here. Allow to dry for 10 to 15 seconds, and then you can place it down and continue moving on to the next part of your marble maze or whatever it is you're trying to create, and it will finish drying by then. Depending on what kind of glue you use will depend on the drying time. Obviously, I love hot glue guns, but if that's not available, you can use regular Elmer's glue. It just takes a little longer to dry. I don't recommend using a glue stick because it doesn't leave enough liquid there to really attach when you're trying it. It's not very sturdy. That's more just for like paper to paper. So another cool technique I have is called a slot technique. So what we have here is we have two pieces of cardboard, and as you can see, I have them marked out. You would want to cut this slot and then cut this slot and then insert them together. So as you can see here, I have two pieces cut and then they make this. Also comes in handy. If you have a hole punch and pipe cleaners available, you can connect things together by just hole punching it and then binding it with pipe cleaners. Or you could use string, or twist ties or, something else. I'm sure you're creative. You could really come up with something. But again, now I have two pieces and they move. Another one that moves is if you use fasteners. So this is a brass fastener. They come in all different sizes, but I have two pieces here and now this rotates. So that will give you mobility to fasten them together, but maybe you need to change the angle of your maze so that the marble will run into the next part of your maze. So you just need that little bit of movement. That was perfect for this. So I ended up using this one on my maze. This technique is a tab and slot technique, and you need to cut out a tab. And I have another piece where you will cut out just the center. So you just put a slit in the center. And then you have this because you can insert it. So you take this and you push it through the back, you insert it, and now you have something sitting up, but you have something flat. So now you have something to lean other things on. So maybe you just need a little bit more support and something angling down, and you could use this. You can use it for other reasons too. That's why I used it. Another fun one is tabs. This is just one piece, right? So then we want it to sit flat. So I used this one a lot because it was hard to connect my tubes to the side. So I'll show you that in mine. But you just cut out a tab in the middle. You push that small tab one way and then the other tabs this way, and it will sit flat on whatever you're trying to attach it to, as you can see here. So then you'll just glue down or tape down these tabs here and then on the other side, and again you have something sticking up. And last but not least, the skewer technique. I like this one because it gives you another firm thing to hold your stuff on, but these move. So if you need to get this to a certain point so that your marble will successfully run down, this allows you to move it, but not necessarily take your creation apart and have to start all over. So I like the ones that are definitely able to be mixed around with. It took me about 3-4 times before my marble run successfully worked. I anticipate the same thing is going to happen with you guys too. If it works the first time, awesome, great. See what you can do to make it more elaborate. If it doesn't work, do not get upset. Part of engineering is trial and error, and it can really be fun to see, okay, well, where did it go wrong? Let's start there. What can I do to change it? How many times do I have to try to get something to work? And once it's finally successful, it is so satisfying. So some of the things I used was glue. Again, regular Elmer's glue works. Hot glue gun dries faster and is a lot more sturdy, but not everybody has a hot glue gun. So hot glue gun, Elmer's glue, they work great. I love duct tape. Duct tape is so much fun. Always in my bin for creative things. My kids use it all the time. It comes in different patterns, colors. Just love it. I used brass fasteners, like I had said. So if you don't know what a brass fastener is, maybe you know it by a different name. It is the little gold, sometimes silver, circle there, button head, and then this goes through, and then you just open these up like this so that it fastens. I've seen these on like reports and papers. I like to use them in my STEM stuff just because they're so convenient. They come in so many different sizes. If you have a hole punch, it comes in handy. Bring it out. And of course, scissors. So now we'll get into my marble run. All right, so my marble run took me a few times to make it work right. Of course, you're going to need the marble. And I started with cutting the tabs to the cereal box and creating an opening here so that I had somewhere to start to put the marble. Now, I also undid the already flaps that were here because it's a cereal box and taped them down. So it made a tab and I attached that and I used an L brace here. Let me move that so that my cereal box was extra secure. I love it being extra secure. I feel like when in doubt, tape it out because nobody wants their stuff to fall apart. And it's kind of like building a tower and it falls over. It's very upsetting. So once you know you want something where it's at, tape it down. Again, I used the tab technique a lot here. I cut paper towel rolls in half to create like the tube-like, slide-like shape, and then cut the edges with a tab attachment, and then attached them to the sides in the angles that I wanted them. This took a couple tries. That's what kind of took me so long in getting it to correctly work and go down. Here, I needed something to come out and the tab technique did not work there, so I had to trial and error a couple different attachment ideas, and I ended up using the slot idea. The slot attachment, if you remember, is a one piece with a slot cut in it, and then a one piece to insert into the slot. So I used a toilet paper roll here because it's shorter. I didn't need as much, and I stuck it through the back. I then used the flange technique down here because I needed something with enough height to match where this one came out. But then I also needed to be able to move this because I wanted to not go straight. I wanted to add something maybe a little bit more tricky in there. So I did the flange here, and I actually used two more techniques. I did the tab here because this was actually too high. It wasn't hitting the ground, and I needed it to go down but stay sturdy. So again, I did the tab here. I did a little notch so this will sit in there. And then to make sure that it wouldn't slide out when the marble hit it, I used the hole punch and pipe cleaner technique there. I also used the hole punch and pipe cleaner technique at the bottom because the marble kept popping out. Now, I will say that I actually still have trouble with the marble popping out sometimes, but the rest of it is pretty successful. So I'll go ahead and give it a run and we'll see if it works. And so it got stuck here, which means my angles are incorrect. So if I go through and kind of fix that part, I know that the other parts were good. Let me mess with the tape a little bit here, kind of make sure it's tubed right. Let's see if that little fix made it work. And it did, voila! See, that wasn't so bad. I am really excited to see what you guys make. So please send me pictures. Let me know how many times you had to trial and error until you got it to work. And let me know all of the cool things that you guys learned. All right, well, I'll see you next time. Bye.